All right, guys. So I am back on to have a little chit chat with you guys. From time to time, the Lord will have me to do this. I had a little situation that happened about maybe 3 to 4 weeks ago, and I wasn't quite ready then to speak about it. The Lord told me that I would and that He needed me to. And I tried, but I didn't really want to. And so today He brought it back up to me again. So this is obviously something that someone out here needs to hear because the Lord would not be bothering my spirit. He would not be bothering my spirit about this subject and this matter if it was not something that a lot of people need to hear. So, we're going to get into it. We're going to hop into it. And this is just a discussion. This is a conversation. Okay, guys? You can share your thoughts and whatever else in the comment section if you like, whatever you feel like doing. Okay? I just pray you guys are really having a wonderful day. I'm in a happy mood. I am always like this, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I wake up feeling good and I go to sleep feeling good. And that's because I'm in God. I stay in God. Okay. So even when bad things are breaking out, y'all guys know me. I'm like that person. I'm a happy person that you almost wouldn't be able to tell that something was going on. That's how happy I am. So let's get it. All right. So I'm going to talk about this situation that happened. Uh, the title of this message is going to be Don't Force Relationships. Okay, so let's get into it why this is the title. We're going to talk about why, okay? All right, so like I said, about 4 weeks ago, I had a situation occur. I had a neighbor that knocked on my door. Now, usually people are not knocking on my door. Every now and then, we're neighborly where I live. It's very quiet. Somebody may knock on the door for a cup of sugar. Maybe I need something. Somebody may knock on the door here and there, may need a ride somewhere or something like that. But people don't knock on my door for weird stuff, okay? I've never had men knock on my door saying they were interested in me. I've had men approach me outside, but I've never had somebody just come and just knock on my door talking a bunch of hoopla. I've never had that happen. And where I've been here for almost nearly close to 12 years, maybe a little longer by now, but um, I just I don't entertain certain things, okay? And I'm that way for a reason. I'm that way for a reason. So my children were home. It was late. It was probably going on about maybe 8 p.m. or something like that. And someone knocked on the door. So my son said, Mom, somebody's at the door. So I got up and I came and I looked at my people and I said, oh my God. Because it was this neighbor at my door that's always talking and being extra with me and all this kind of stuff. And it's so annoying. Um, it gets to the point like I just try my best to avoid this person because I'm like, it's too much. When a woman shows you that she is not interested in you, it's time to go another direction. It's time for you to seek somebody else or, you know, go about your business basically, okay? Um, I just don't understand some people. I just feel like some people just go a little bit too overboard and it's just really weird to me. It's really weird to me. So the gentleman knocked on the door. I saw him. I said, okay, maybe it's a situation going on because he had told me that he had a couple of things going on within his family. So I said, let me just step out. But before I could open the door, I hear the Lord say, you're going to talk about this with your family on YouTube. And I was like, oh my goodness, no. Because I had no idea what was going on. So I open the door and I go out. He and I are talking and he's going on. He says, I need somebody to talk to. I got this going on, this going on. And I know that you are a woman of God. And so every time I see you, you're just with your children, you stay to yourself. I've been here for a few years now and you don't be having nobody over at your place. I mean, like, how does God know all this information? So Listen, y'all, people are something else. So he was like, why you don't have a man? And I was like, why are you asking me that? Okay, so it's kind of like a going back and forth. And I told him, I said, listen, we're out here to talk about whatever's going on. That you come to my place, need somebody to talk to. I said, I'm gonna tell you right off, I'm gonna pray for you. I said, then when I pray for you, that's gonna be it. And he was like, oh, it's like that. And I was like, yeah, that's what it's like, because he says, I know you're not interested. I know you're not. He kept telling me he knew I wasn't interested. And he was like, but I really just really, really like you. I really just can't. I don't know what it is, but I just like you. And I was like, maybe it's just my spirit, who I am. That's what you picking up on. I said, that's what you like. I said, but I'm not interested. He said, I just can't believe you're not married. I just can't believe you don't have a man, or blah, 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 and this and that and the third. And I said, listen, I said, I am not with anybody right now because it is not the Lord's will that I'm with somebody. I didn't get into details about what God is doing with my life and what's going on, and why I have chosen to follow the Lord and be faithful. But I did tell him, I said, listen, I can have a man if I want one. He said, oh, I know you can. He was like, I know you can. He said, but listen, he said, I know you probably going to tell a whole lot of people about this conversation. He said, I know you're going to tell a whole lot of people. And I just looked at him and I was like, no, I'm not going to tell nobody. And the whole time I knew God had already told me I was going to talk about this. Okay. Um, so the man was talking. As he's talking, he trying to get a little close to me. He trying to inch his way over to kind of put his arm like nearby me. And I'm like, sir, can you back up just a little bit? If you're going to talk to me, you're going to have to back up just a little bit. And he was like, well, my granddaughter stayed with me, and I need somebody to do her hair and help out, this and that and the third. And I said, I love kids. Okay. I really love kids. So I was like, if you want me to do her hair and everything, I don't mind doing that. I said, but I'm not going to step in your house and you can't step in my house. Now tell me that that's not being straightforward. That's being straightforward. And sometimes, ladies, we have to be straightforward. We have to be straightforward, and even men, straightforward. Because otherwise, if you're not straightforward, you give people the impression or the ideal that you're interested in them or something, and they'd be like, well, she invited me over, or he invited me over, or whatever the case might be. Just be straightforward, okay? They don't have to know any details about why you are the way that you are, or why you're single, or why you're whatever. They don't have to know that. If you're divorced or whatever, this is your private business. If this is something you choose to share with anybody, let it be something that the Lord tells you that it's okay to share. Okay. But other than that, it's no need to share that. So as I'm listening to the gentleman talking, it seems more like he's just trying to find a way to get close to me. So then the Lord is speaking to me, and this is what he's saying right in the middle of this man talking to me. He says, you're going to find men that are going to use certain things to try to pull you in. And I was like, man, oh man. He said they're going to be using all of this type of stuff because they realize that certain things don't get your attention. And sometimes when men feel like certain things don't get your attention, they start digging for anything. They start to watch you and try to figure out what is it, something that you love or something that you like or something like that. What they try to find something to get your attention, to get you drawn in. Okay, and the Lord is saying this is not the time to fall for the okie doke. This is not the time. Don't get caught slacking and slipping in prayer, because the enemy will use moments of weakness when you're lonely or when you're just irritated. Because let's be real. Sometimes, after you've been by yourself for many years, after you've been celibate for many years, you can be a little bit irritated. You could go through moments where you feel a certain way, you know, Y'all get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. But if you're in prayer and you're with the Lord and you're just in that type of relationship with God, that is more, you things become, you get an understanding of what's more important, is what I'm saying. You get understanding of the greater picture. You see the greater picture of why God is not going to just let you enter into any type of relationship. And this goes for friendships too. Just friendships. He's not going to allow you to. Okay. And it's for a lot of reasons. It's to protect you, and it's to protect your purpose, it's to protect your destiny. And when you just let anybody in, it's no telling what they coming with. Okay, it's no telling what they coming with. If they coming, they gonna because the enemy come to steal, kill, and destroy. So what the enemy's trying to find is anybody he can put his spirit into, put himself into. He can come through. He can use that person because they're not surrendered to God to try to get to you. You understand what I'm saying? So the Lord is saying, don't force relationships. Don't force any type of relationship. Don't force no romantic relationship. Don't force no friendship. Don't force nothing. If it's not something that flows with ease, if it's not something that if God has already told you that somebody is not your mate, receive that and accept that. Accept that. If they don't accept that, that don't have nothing to do with you. But once you tell them that, no, sir, you're not it, in a respectable way, no, sir, I'm not interested, and they don't get the hint, then you just have to, 9 times out of 10, you got to start avoiding that person. Because then the gentleman started to say, well, you were speaking at one point, you would see me, you say good morning, this and that and the third. He said, now you've gotten kind of mean acting. And I'm like, huh? Like, where you getting that from? And I said, listen, when I tell you that I'm not interested and you continue to press me every single day, when I pull up, you get on your porch. When I pull up, you at my car door. I said, eventually somebody gonna get agitated. And I know men, women alike will feel this way. Eventually you're gonna be agitated with that person. You see, and I tell you, it got to the point where I had to have my son come down. My son had to come down. And sometimes when my son is with me, he's standing there. My son be like, Mom, don't even say nothing. Just come on, come on, come on, come on. My son be like, oh. My son will check. My son, if that man keep me locked out there talking to him, my son will open the door and be like, Mom, I need you. And then I just go on. But I'm telling you, the Lord was saying to me that, people will come and, the motives are not right. Their motives are just not genuine. And you got to tell them straight up what you are about and let them know this is not what I'm about. I'm not about this. I'm not about this harassment. I'm not about what you're trying to do. Every time you see me, you are going hard at me. I'm not interested. Sometimes you got to put your foot down to the point where you may even have to not talk to them. You may not even be able to speak. Okay, because some people don't know how to put a pause on it. Some people don't know how to say, okay, this is just a neighbor. Let me respect that person and respect their space and everything. Some people just don't get it. They just don't get it. And the Lord was saying to me, he says, never allow yourself to enter into anything that is forced. Okay, it's bad enough you got to worry about these folks out here and deal with these people doing love spells and witchcraft and all this kind of crazy stuff. It's bad enough you got to deal with that kind of stuff. You don't need to force something that's going to end up not working anyway. Okay, if it's God's will for you to be with somebody, God will show you that that's his will. But if God don't show me, let me tell you somehow, I know when something is in God's will. I'm going to dream about it many times. Now, if God says that it's somebody he wants you to be with and that person ain't on your level or whatever the case might be, or it's not the proper time or whatever. Okay, even if that person decides that they don't want you, okay, but the Lord has shown you something, you have to just go ahead and say, okay, God, whatever your will is, meaning that if God chooses another person for you, You have to say, okay, this is God's choice. This is what God is willing for me. Because let me tell y'all something. One thing I discover about God gonna make sure that what he has for you to do, that it get done. He's going to make sure of that. He's going to make sure of that. It doesn't matter who's on board, who's not on board. Somebody else may not fulfill their purpose. You may fulfill your purpose on a greater level because you are submitted to God. You are submitted. You are submissive to him. You listen and follow God's instruction. That's the difference between a lot of us and a lot of other people. They feel as though what they have and what they're able to show the world that they possess and they have means that they're on track with God. And that's not necessarily true. It's not necessarily true at all. And they look at another person and say, well, their life is not where they feel it should be, but that person is on track with God. That person is right where God needs for them to be, right where the Lord wants for them to be. Okay, and obedience will unlock the door to many things. I could easily go out here and go get me a man. It's not hard. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's not hard. I can get me a man with some money, and I could go get a broke man if I want. It's options. You understand what I'm saying? It's options. But I've turned down many of them. There are young men that try to talk to me. There are middle aged. There are older men, seasoned men. They all come. They all come, and it's like that. A lot of them are pretty cool. They're wonderful people. They're wonderful people. But see, when you know what the Lord is trying to do with you in your life, wonderful ain't good enough. Wonderful is just not good enough. Being good and kind to a person just ain't good enough. A man sounding sweet or paying your bills just ain't good enough. A man helping you paying your bills, it just ain't good enough. It has to have the seal of God. God's seal has to be on an individual in order for me to even entertain even a date. And I don't even believe in dating. But if we're going to go there, God's seal has to be on a person in God's approval. And I'm not going to go to 10, 15 other people asking them, what do they think or what do they see? No, I need to hear from God for myself, which is why you need to have a relationship with the Lord. Which is why you need to have a relationship with the Lord, because the Lord will show you who people are. I have seen many men that was trying to talk to me and have tried, that were apostles and pastors and all kinds of stuff. And I don't even know if I ever talked about this here. And the Lord has revealed a lot of things to me. Many different things to me. Okay. And my thing is this. And I had one gentleman that was mad. He was like, you're going into my past, and how you able to see this and this and that and the third. And I'm just sharing this with y'all now. And my thing is this, it ain't got nothing to do with that. You got to have you just got to have some discernment. You got to know how to pray. You got to have a relationship with God so that God can show you what you need to see. You don't want to walk into nothing blindsided. You don't want to walk into nothing foolish. You don't want to walk into something because you are so lonely or so needy or whatever the case might be. I want a relationship like everybody else. I want to be married and have what God has for me. I want certain things in life. I'm a different type of woman. I'm pretty sure all of you guys have your beautiful qualities about yourself, but there's a certain something that I want out of life, and I'm not going to settle until I get exactly what it is. And I'm not saying that an individual has to be perfect for me, because I'm not perfect. Nobody is perfect, but I'm not going to get less than what God said that I can have. Okay. And I don't mind waiting. I do not mind waiting. Okay, I've waited this long, so I'm not going to wait this long just to go ahead and let somebody talk a good game and it take me off of where I need to be with God. Are you insane? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And throw all of them years, all that 10 plus years down the drain. It's been more than 10 years. Okay, trust and believe. But what I'm saying is I'm not fitting to waste away my life, my spiritual life, the stuff that I have gained in my time with God for somebody who ain't even on my page. I rebuke it. I refuse it in the name of Jesus. And that's how you guys got to look at it. Even in friendships, don't force no friendships with nobody. Don't go out of your way to force nothing. I'm a good person by just in my nature. I love people and I love to do nice things for people and stuff like that. But the truth of the matter is we living in a different day and time, y'all. We living in a different day and time, and you got to make sure that whoever you connecting to, they are really, truly on the level you are spiritually. You're gonna have to work that out because I mean, at least for them to get us to a certain level of closeness to you, you need to make sure that they on your level. Okay, because you can have anybody that get to you, get close to you, and they're gonna drag you down spiritually, drag you down out of your place in God. Okay, so we don't have time to keep repeating things and lessons that we learned in the past. There's no more time for that. This is what God was saying to me. It's no more time to keep learning the same lesson that you already just went through. You went through many years ago. God had taught you what you need to learn. It's time to move past that. It's time to graduate and move forward into the places that God wants you to be in, and for him to bring in the people into your life that he wants to be there. And God will bring those people. He will bring that husband. He will bring that wife. He will the Bible said he places the lonely in families, right? Whoever knows that scripture off top, put that in my in the comment section because I can't think of it right now. But God will do that. God will do that for you. All you have to do is just wait on him. And I know it can seem long. I know this for somebody. You know, the way I deal with certain things, I do a lot of praying. I do fasting. I read. I do things that I love. So when y'all see me posting stuff about where I love to do and where I spend my time putting myself in the things that I love to do. Okay, I love the outdoors. I love things that are out. I spend my time in that and I get myself lost in God. I lose myself in him. Okay, and he comforts me and he takes care of me, and that's real. That's real serious what I'm saying. He takes care of me, so no doubt in my mind that I'm on the right path. And in order for me to do what I need to do for God, I need to have myself lined up with those that are on the same page. They are on the same path. They're not out here compromising their walk, their call. They're not out here doing any of that. They're not out here playing games. Listen, I'm past the point of game. I don't have time for that. I do not. I know nobody gonna waste my time. I'm just saying. I hope you guys feel the same, but nobody gonna. I don't even want to waste the conversation talking to somebody. I don't want to talk to you and get to know you for what? If I know already God is saying it's not going anywhere. I don't mind just having a random conversation with people from time to time because that's what I do. Uh, I'm friendly and I love to get to know people and I love to talk to people and I really, really love and enjoy talking about the Lord. This is something I do on a daily basis. Okay, that's where I feel the most fulfilled when I'm sharing about God. But what I'm not going to do is allow people to waste my time and they're a crook and they're a snake and they just trying to find a way to drag me down. I'm not finna do that. So I pray that all that I said has made sense. I did end up praying for the gentleman, but I avoid him. I avoid him. I don't I'm not gonna yeah, I'm not entertaining that. And in this season you can't entertain what God said is not for you. You can't just be out here just entertaining anybody. So when the man said, why are you always at the house by yourself and da 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 da, and I can assume he had spoke to some other neighbors because I have other neighbors that have lived out here longer than I have lived, and they have noticed that I'm to myself. They have noticed it. Heck, my daughter said the other day when I had to, like I told y'all in one video, she said she couldn't believe somebody was at the house. I had somebody at the house. We were taking care of some business. And she said, somebody at the house. She said, huh? Like she was confused. Y'all, because I just don't, when I say I'm about this life with God, I'm about this life. If people walk past my door, they hear me worshiping, they hear me having studies with my children. The man could hear this. He was telling me. He not the first person. I'm about that life for real. I don't play with God. My life is in God. And in order for me to be able to hear from God, I have to be this way. I have to be. God put me. If God did this, Who can talk about it? Nobody can. Everybody else so concerned about these friendships and all this fake stuff and all this nonsense. That's why half the people that gotten thrown into stuff they shouldn't have been in the wrong relationships, in the wrong friendships, in the wrong connections. I'm not finna do all of that. Okay, that's for the birds. I'm not doing all of that. So y'all listen, don't force any form of relationship. Don't force a thing. If it flows, let it flow. If it's just something in your spirit and you know it ain't gonna be nothing, then it ain't gonna be nothing. But never force anything. Remember that God is in control of everything. He's in control of everything. When you give him the control, he will control it all, and he will make sure that everything works out in your favor. Okay, so that's my little chit chat. That's my little 2 cents. I pray whoever had needed to hear this will hear this. Please don't get desperate in your season of frustration or irritation. Don't get desperate and sell yourself short for something that ain't even worth it. I'm just saying. I'm trying to help somebody right now. Don't shake a leg and get desperate. Okay, just trust God. I'm sorry, guys. Just trust God. Trust God. He got you. He got you. And if you've been going like me 10, 15 years, please, you can go longer. God gonna work it out, okay? God gonna work it out, all right? So on that note, I'm gone. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you guys with the love of Christ. I pray that this message has made somebody smile. I pray whoever it resonates with, that you got the idea, you got the message. I pray you don't slip and you don't trip in this season. And if you do, I pray you dust yourself off, repent, go to God, ask for forgiveness. He will give you that, okay? Know that if you are following on God's path and his perfect plan and will for your life, that all things are going to come together, and eventually you're going to see why everything had to happen the way it had to happen. And you're going to look back and say, thank you, God. Thank you that I didn't give up. Thank you that I listened to you. Thank you that I was obedient. You're going to thank God for that, okay? But you got to just, trust God. You have to trust him. So I am gone on that note, guys. Please take care of yourselves. God bless you. See you in the next message or a prayer video. Bye.